Okay, I don't know if you've been following this story, but a lot of people have asked me to comment on it. This is the sort of CNN versus a troll blackmail doxing story, okay? And you might not have heard of this, and the specifics of it are less interesting than the implications, but I'll just catch you up very quickly on what happened. Donald Trump recently tweeted out a meme, okay? And he put this out on his Twitter account with the hashtag fraudnewsCNN and hashtag FNN, suggesting fake news network. And the meme was a video of Donald Trump, who used to participate in WWE, or maybe at the time it was WWF wrestling. And he was wrestling someone whose face was replaced by a CNN logo in this video that was tweeted. Okay, I'll just show you what that looks like real quick. Okay. All right, good. So that gives you an idea, right? It's kind of funny. I have no problem with it. It's not offensive. It's pretty clever. Donald Trump has been at war with CNN, I think, for completely fabricated and bogus reasons, but it's funny to see a physical representation of Donald Trump, who used to participate in wrestling events on TV, tackling and punching someone whose face was replaced with the CNN logo. It has nothing to do with Trump's politics. I just think it's kind of funny. Eventually, a user of the internet forum Reddit claimed responsibility, okay? And there was a Reddit thread where they said, wow, I never expected my meme to be retweeted by the God's emperor himself. And it was then found out that the same Redditor had a post history on Reddit that was sort of bizarre at best and horribly racist at worst. And the user has since deleted their entire account off of Reddit, as well as all of their posts. And just as some examples, a few days ago, this Reddit user wrote, quote, most blacks don't know who their fathers are, in a thread about how much money Americans spend on the holidays, like Mother's Day, Father's Day, etc. He said he would get satisfaction out of seeing billionaire investor and prominent Democratic supporter George Soros's, quote, dead bloated corpse being dragged through the streets, etc., etc. And ultimately, CNN put out an article explaining that they actually tracked down who this person was in real life, and they put out a statement about their decision not to release the person's identity. And we're going to get to that in a second. So far, I wasn't offended by this video. I didn't find anything particularly remarkable. It's kind of funny, but it really did not seem like a huge deal. I mean, yes, the president is retweeting something so stupid, but this is what he does. Trump tweets about stuff that's meaningless while pulling out of the Paris Climate Accord. That's not new.
Yeah, I mean, some may call it an attack on the media, but I think that's kind of a flaccid critique because pretty much everyone knows that wrestling is fake and this is all just in good fun. But this is not the first time that Donald Trump has retweeted content from someone who regularly puts up anti-Semitic and racist material. You remember the black on black versus white on white crime statistics, or Hillary Clinton with that Star of David that said most corrupt politician ever.
Sure. So long and short of it is, yes, this is sort of weird behavior for a 71-year-old man or 70-year-old man, however old he is at this point, but it is consistent with his past behavior. So CNN tracks down who this person that made the video is in real life, and they put out an article saying, quote, CNN is not publishing Han A-hole Solo's name, that's their Reddit username, because he is a private citizen who has issued an extensive statement of apology, showed his remorse by saying he has taken down all his offending posts, and because he said he is not going to repeat this ugly behavior on social media again. In addition, he said his statement could serve as an example to others not to do the same. CNN decided not to publish the name of the Reddit user out of concern for his safety. Any assertion that the network blackmailed or coerced him is false. The user, who is an adult male, not a 15-year-old boy, apologized and deleted his account before ever speaking with our reporter. So those are the allegations, right, that CNN is refuting. Some are saying this is blackmail, saying, hey, if he does X, they will publish his identity. Is this blackmail? Is CNN doing the right thing by not publishing the guy's information? Let's take it piece by piece. What is blackmail? Blackmail is the use of threats or manipulation of feelings to force someone to do something. Or when it comes to money, blackmail is money demanded from someone in return for not revealing damaging information. Money isn't a part of this. So the question is, Were threats or manipulation used to force them to do something, or even not force but compel? Well, CNN said, we found your identity. If you do this again, we will release your information. It's not force. I guess it's barely compelling. It's sort of persuasion, I guess. The other issue is that none of the information that CNN said they would release if this guy did X, Y, or Z is secret information. The Reddit user went on Reddit and publicly took credit for the meme. So they outed themselves as a Redditor. And then anyone could just, look up the guy's basic identity information or do a search for the Reddit username to cross-reference it with other websites or whatever. This was not secret information to begin with. Now, CNN could take the position that while the person may not have considered themselves a public figure, that once they did this and once they took credit for it on Reddit publicly, which they didn't have to do, they chose to go on Reddit and do that, they have now volunteered themselves in a public way. And thus, that's it. They are now public in the sense of finding out who the person is, which probably happened by looking at their post history and Googling their Reddit username.
I think we can have a reasonable conversation over whether this is coercion or doxing or blackmail, what have you. But to me, it just comes down to don't post offensive material on the internet under the guise of anonymity and then try to blame the victim or try to play the victim after that.
Particularly after you take responsibility for it. No one forced him to go on the Donald subreddit and do that. So I think this sounds more like a threat to dox, but barely, because again, this information could have been found by many people. This is an adult who outed themselves on the internet. CNN is really not the problem here. I do think here's the problem with CNN. This is nonsense. Why is a news entity the size and scope of CNN even looking for the identity of this person and putting out statements about the fact that they've uncovered the identity? If you ever have heard the term punching down, this is punching down. See, what I'm embarrassed by here for CNN is that they even wasted time. Don't even mention this guy, right, Pat? That's my perspective. Don't get involved in what some random person did on the internet. Don't give them the time of day. Don't give them the satisfaction of knowing that they seem to have gotten under your skin. Don't waste time on this. And that's the real problem I have with it.
It does seem as though they're trying to put themselves on the same level as this Reddit poster, where really they're broadcasting in so many homes around the world that they're far above him. And it kind of plays into this idea that, maybe they are fake news, as Donald Trump proposes.
The mere involvement that they participated in as a result of this only fuels the fake news stuff from Trump and the Trumpists that have bought into it hook, line, and sinker. And that's why I think it was just a total strategic mistake by CNN.